Hey everybody, it's the DAC coming at you with another painting video today. Now this one is going to be all about a really awesome technique I know for painting. In this particular case, it is what I call pre-highlights. Now this here is unequivocally the shit. I'm not going to lie to you, I'm going to try to make this one fun, but it's time to stop wasting hours and hours of effort, tons and tons of paint, on getting like 50 different colors to do, a single color and its highlights. This is one of my favorite ways to get a lot of detail on miniatures with minimal effort, and it'll save you some money. So stop spending all that money and check this out. So as you can see, I'm already going through is doing edge highlighting on all the spots that I want to have a little bit more color, I want those spots to be brighter. And this is because we're going to use contrast paints. So what's cool about contrast paints, as some of you may or may not know, is the color will come out strong or muted depending on what you put it over. So if you put it over a dark area, it will be suitably dark and it won't show through as strong. Whereas if you put it over something lighter, the color will appear brighter and in a lighter shade. So we are going to use this to our advantage to basically skip several parts of what would be, required in a more traditional method to cut out all the BS and get right to the good stuff. So I'm just going to go through, I'm hitting the edges where I want these colors, because I want to make, like right here on his cloak, I want some of those edges to pop out for the different panels or different sections of his coat. And I'm even going to go through here and I'm even going to do a couple dry brushing, touch-ups and spots, specifically in the darker areas where the Xanathol Prime didn't hit, because I want those details to still pop out. I want them to still show up on the model. They don't need to be nearly as prominent as some of the other spots, but I don't want to lose entirely. Like there on his backpack, for example, just going to do a quick dry brush over it, because I want all that detail to stay in on the miniature. So you probably already saw a couple spots that have some color on them, namely the vials. I decided to break that off into its own little tutorial. But as you can see, going through here right now, I'm already putting down color. And this is I'm just putting a nice thick coat of the contrast paint of my choice, which in this case was a nice purple. So as you can see, I'm just going through and I'm adding the color down here, getting that nice purple all over the parts of his armor. But yeah, as you can see, as I'm going over it, you can already see the edge highlighting and the dry brushing I did on those edges just pop out. It adds so much depth to your miniature, and this technique will seriously cut out so much of the work time. And honestly, I just find it way easier to paint in grayscale. For one, if you need to adjust the color you're using, you actually only need a white and a black to go in there and to fiddle with the color as necessary. But as you can see, I'm just putting down the contrast here like on his apron, and it's just filling out real nicely. Those highlights I put in, they're starting to show through. I'm getting all the detail I wanted, but it's literally just a one coat and done with the contrast. And what's so cool is I'm even using that same contrast, I'm just thinning it out and even just using it for his flesh tone, because I used Gilliman flesh there for the cape and just thinned it out to use on his face, because it's a great flesh tone paint. I really love Gilliman flesh, but sometimes it's just a little too strong, so I just thinned it out there. But yeah, already he's really coming together. All that's just sitting there nicely. And for the final part, I decided to just kind of go over the black areas, specifically his gun here, with a black contrast, and it's all coming together really nicely. And man, you get some awesome results with this. And there you go. There's the final product. I do plan to make a separate video showing the entirety of me painting a bile from start to finish, but there were some really cool techniques that I like to use, and I use specifically for this model, that I honestly thought warranted their own video, namely to show you this really awesome technique. It's great for pretty much anybody, if you're a beginner painter, if you're more experienced, maybe you want to save yourself some time, but still get really fantastic results. This is the way to do it. So stay tuned for more painting videos. This is the DAC, and I'm out.